Today I'm 30. Today I'm a 30-year-old man. Last night I slept in my 20s and now I wake up here in my 30s. Hero, come here. I guess we get the day started. Whoa. Looks like a pretty nice day out. Oh, that's an itchy boy. Oh. I feel bloated today. I think it's from the food I ate yesterday. Had some like cheeseburgers and fries, and that's usually stuff that I don't really have like every day. I try to give myself, if it's like a special occasion on a weekend, or if I'm eating out with family, I really try to avoid the diet kind of stuff. Or like, I mean, I don't go too crazy, or I don't go too overboard with what I order, but I'm not gonna like not enjoy myself and order some kind of like, I don't know, salad or something. Oh, my electric toothbrush is out of battery. That's okay. Switch it out. And I use my wife. Shot. Cheers, everybody. Okay, teeth are all brushed. Normally in the morning I do like my face stuff, like especially when I'm about to go to work, but it's really just a lazy time right now. I'm just gonna maybe throw in a hat and take out Hero for a walk, and maybe I'll get to try out my new camera for this walk. So let's do that. I just weighed myself. I try to weigh myself like every day. It helps me kind of keep track of kind of like where my weight is at, if I had a lot of water the night before, if I'm retaining a lot of water, or just the general trends of like, am I gaining or losing weight, or am I getting stagnant, etc., etc. Today we are holding on to a bit of water today, and I think that's from all the sodium that we ate yesterday. But I've noticed that always, every time, like if I eat out one day and then I weigh myself the next day, I have a lot of sodium. But I'm kind of that guy who like, I like to sometimes check throughout the day how much I weigh. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I'll start out weighing a little bit high in the morning, and then I'll just go about my regular life, and it really just goes back to like what I normally am. So I might make another little video on this guy, but yeah, I recently got this camera. It's called the Insta360 Go 3S. You know, I'm gonna give it a shot, see how it is on this walk. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of fun about it. See, what I think is pretty nice about this camera is that I'm still pretty shy when it comes to like talking in front of camera, especially as I kind of walk out here in public, but not too bad. Okay, now we reduced the volume of the prompt sound. One of the things that was giving me anxiety was that every time I would click record or end the recording, you'd hear this loud ass beep. And I'm like, oh, I don't want people to know I'm just recording. I'm some strange guy talking to a camera. What's up, guys? I have my cup of coffee here. So this might be just a little bit of a different video that I'm doing today. Today I turned 30. Yep, so today is May 25th, 2025. 30 years ago, I was born the 90s, so pretty old. I mean, not old. I don't feel old. Yeah, today I turned 30 years old. Woo! Yesterday I celebrated a little bit with my family. We just a little nice kind of early dinner, late lunch type of thing. Yeah, it's really wild to think that my God, I'm already 30. I think one of the things when I was especially in high school, it's kind of weird because back in high school, I didn't really think I was going to live this long because I was really into conspiracies and I was really into Nostradamus. And I was like, dude, the world's going to end in December 21st, 2012. I'm not going to be able to go to college. And kind of a lot of that was maybe due to my own anxieties of, having to go to college, having to do exams, having to thing. But honestly, no, I couldn't be happier to have lived this long. The fact that I'm 30, I'm surrounded by, such loving friends, such loving family, a beautiful wife who supports me in everything that I kind of do, an amazing dog that's a really silly boy. I'm truly blessed, honestly. I kind of wanted to make this video just to kind of, talk about kind of the stuff that I learned along the way to being 30 years old. And to give kind of just a little introduction, because I know there's a lot of new of you guys here who've subscribed, and thank you so much, by the way. It's really good to have you here. So to kind of give you just a little bit of an introduction on who I am and kind of, I guess, my plans for this channel going forward and maybe the content that you might be seeing kind of moving forward. Hello, everybody. My name is Bryn. I live here in the Bay Area of California, United States. In terms of career-wise, I'm a mechanical engineer. I've been kind of working in the Silicon Valley over here for a good, I want to say 7 years now. Started out in semiconductor industry and then kind of moved on and towards more of the science industry. It's kind of more so of career, but more so kind of who I am. I really am into like lots of little different things. I always love making videos. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm making YouTube kind of now is I've always had a desire to make YouTube videos ever since I was a kid. I had many channels starting back from middle school. So hopefully you don't see any of those really old videos, but I've been basically making YouTube videos since I was 12 years old. So yeah, I've always really been into video editing and making videos. I think the fun part is just having a bunch of friends, bunch of homies, just do a little silly skit and recording that. Kind of other stuff that I got really into, especially in middle school, was music. And so one of the very first instruments I picked up was guitar. If you can see already behind me, I have 2 guitars and 1 bass, if you can kind of see it over there in the corner. Yeah, I just got really into playing music. Started out listening to a lot of Beatles, a lot of kind of classic rock, like your Aerosmith, and then kind of moving forward was a lot of Radiohead, and then eventually a lot of indie music. Shout out to Guitar Hero. That's what really got me into guitar. And so flash forward to now, I still play guitar. I love playing video games. I know I have some video game videos here on this channel. Maybe you'll see more of those, who knows. I love food. If it wasn't already clear enough how much I do enjoy food. I think one of the things that I really wanted to talk about, especially now that I'm 30 years old, is kind of the stuff that I learned along the way. I think there's a few kind of tidbits of things I learned, things that I'm still kind of working on, that I really want to share with you guys, just in case you may be struggling with it. You may be kind of also going through similar things, and you need somebody to kind of like have some form of reassurance that, hey, I'm not alone. So yeah, I mean, let's kind of get into it. I think kind of one of the things that I learned, and this is maybe more of a lesson kind of more for you adults, or maybe some of you college students who are about to move into a career soon. Congrats, by the way. I think one of the key things that I highlight, especially if you're in engineering, and I mean, this is probably for every other industry as well, is just, working on that communication early on and trying to get really good at it, whether it be communicating to management, exactly kind of your status updates, kind of where you're struggling, being very reflective in terms of like what you need help on to get a task or a project moving forward, and communicating that you need help, and also being cognizant and constantly aware in moments when you do need help. So I think that's kind of one thing that I'd like to stress upon. Kind of the struggles I had initially in the beginning of my career was receiving help and also understanding when I am in need of help. It's something that maybe I'm not sure if you guys grew up kind of this way, or I always used to see getting help as kind of like a sign of weakness. Like I couldn't figure this out myself. I need to be able to do this myself. If I can't do this myself and I keep asking for help and I keep getting handhold, then, am I a good employee? One of the things I learned, especially moving forward now in my career, is how much I think some of the best engineers, some of the smartest people really just know how to ask the right questions and really know who to talk to and really know who to ask. Smartest people they realize they don't really know everything, but they do know the power of colleagues, the power of like smart people around you who do know in their little specialized thing. And they know how to harness those people. And to summarize, I didn't understand, you don't need to do all things by yourself. It's okay to ask for help. It's oftentimes encouraged to ask for help from other people to get something done. So yeah, I think if you're early in your career, or if you're about to get into engineering or about, again, any industry, don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions, and don't be afraid that when you really don't know something, just to go out and ask somebody else. I hope these audio is coming out okay. So yeah, I think one of the other things that I'd like to maybe talk about are things when it comes to health. I grew up honestly being like a really chubby kid. I could probably put a little timeline here. I'm not sure if I can throw maybe like a timeline around here, but I've had a lot of waves of weight gain and weight loss. And I think all of those kind of stem from different like environment changes that occurred to me. I think the first time I gained a lot of weight was probably once I started going to school. I didn't really understand how to regulate diet. And the stress and anxieties of school probably really got to me. And so I gained a lot of weight towards like maybe 5th and 6th grade. This is like middle school-ish. And then I lost that weight coming into 8th grade. And kind of in that window of me weight loss, that was like almost like the renaissance of Bryn. Like a new era almost, where it was like this newfound confidence allowed me to do new things in work or new things at in middle school, where it's like, oh, I'm going to go for the lead role of our 8th grade play. I'm going to play in a band in front of all of my classmates for our graduation. I'm going to be more vocal. I'm going to be a little bit more silly outwardly. And then, coming to high school, I'm still kind of riding that wave of like huge spurts of confidence from that. And then as I go, towards my junior, senior year of high school, I gain more weight again. And that's probably from a lot of the anxieties that I have to deal with. I think primarily a lot of stress eating and a lot of access to good food. I kind of gain weight again. And so leading from end of high school into college, I gained a lot of weight again. And then around, let's say 2016, when it was kind of like the middle of my college, is when I started to lose weight again. And then we had a new wave of confidence again, where we're doing a mechanical design oral presentation for a competition down in LA. I went down to do that, won 2nd place. I was more active in kind of my senior design, where I would become a treasurer and ultimately a kind of like a leadership role in that. And so I had another spurt of confidence there. Fast forward now to moving into the career after college, I started gaining weight again. One, because of the pandemic, the stresses of a semiconductor industry and a fast-paced kind of moving industry. Now we're here in 2025. We are now losing weight, and part of that confidence is coming back. And so, sorry, it was very long-winded to kind of get to this point, but I think kind of what I wanted to say in terms of summary, I currently realize how much confidence I do get from like living a healthy life, because I really think that any ways you can start building confidence within yourself, it just starts to saturate amongst other parts of your life. So for me, what really helped me get the boost in other parts of my life was just really boosting my health. Okay, and I think maybe one last little topic that I'd like to talk about here is just try to focus on a little bit more as I grow older, is just being a ever more present person. I think one of the things that I notice a lot more now is just like not being present. By presence, I really mean just to say it's like you're really living in the moment. You're aware of what's occurring around you right now, what the exact emotion you're feeling right now. I think what happens to us, I think us adults will totally understand what I'm talking about here. It's weird to say us adults. I think one of the really easy things
us adults do is really just get caught up the problems of tomorrow and the regrets of yesterday, stuff like that. Like, we get really muddled in regrets from the past of like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, oh, I could have done that. And we also look way ahead into the future of other future problems, like, oh gosh, I gotta do this project once I get back in the office, stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, all those things are very important things, except maybe regrets. I don't know if regrets are important, but dealing with future things is pretty important. I think it's what makes it hard is that it makes it hard for you to enjoy what's occurring now. And I've caught myself do that multiple times where, I'd be worried about something far in advance and it's preventing me from enjoying what's happening currently right now in front of me type thing. And that sucks. And I think other ways that like we adults tend to get lost in the sauce of it all is just when we get stuck in routines. God, it's something that I've noticed how much routine there is. Not to say routine's bad, but it's just like the mundane aspects of living day in and day out type thing, where it's like, oh, I wake up at 6 a.m. I make myself a breakfast. I make myself a coffee. I eat the breakfast and I eat the coffee. I get dressed. I go out. I take my car. I drive through 30 minutes of rush hour traffic. I get into the office. I do work. I have meetings from 1 to 3 p.m. After 3 p.m., I go to the gym, etc., etc. After the gym, I go home. I cook a dinner. I eat the dinner. I go take a shower. I go back into my bed. I maybe like play a video game or two before I fall asleep. And then you wake up, you do it all over again. And it's like living that kind of same routine day in and day out. Oh my God, you really kind of just start, I don't know, sometimes it feels like sometimes it's like less living and it's more autopiloting. And sometimes that's okay. It's okay to autopilot. I think everyone autopilots to some extent. I don't know if am I enjoying what I'm doing right here? But anyways, I think what we do is we get caught in moments where we don't get to truly be present, and it really sucks. There's many different solutions to this, I think, and it's something that I still struggle with as well, as just not being fully present in the moment. What really helps me in moments like that is just being cognizant of the fact that I'm feeling, like of what I'm feeling like that. There's a book taken from a speech that was given at a college graduation by David Foster Wallace that really kind of tunnels in on that kind of aspect of our adult lives. I got it from a book as a friend for my graduation. And it really kind of resonated with me in terms of kind of what David Foster Wallace was really discussing in terms of, I think, what we as humans, what we as adults, we kind of the superpower that we have is just the power of choice. And the power of choice doesn't just mean the ability to choose a salad over a burger, but it also gives us the power to choose exactly how we want to feel, how we want to react in situations, how we want to, how we choose to, use our emotions. So, let's say, for example, like you can be driving in rush hour traffic, you can be mad. And I'm mad like maybe 80% of the time when driving through traffic. I think most people are. But we as humans have the power to choose not to be mad. We can consider things that, I don't know, we can consider that maybe this traffic happened because for some reason, we can consider the fact that maybe this traffic isn't due to the negligence of our fellow drivers, and it's because of a bunch of stupid drivers that are causing this traffic because they decide to be slow. And maybe we consider maybe that, I don't know, there was a potential accident that happened up front that had nothing to do with anybody, and it was just from form of freak accident. It's not entirely, it's something that's like, statistically unlikely, but it isn't impossible. So in many ways, that kind of little thought process here is that, like, dude, you could choose to be angry in rush hour traffic and no one would look the other way at you for thinking that way. Probably people will be like, oh, that's understandable. But we have the power of choice of like, yo, we can turn this traffic jam into literally a jam. Like, I could be singing, dude. I could be like, oh shoot, I have 30 extra minutes to just sing karaoke. So anyway, I think that's kind of like one little thing that I've tried to do, and just live more presently. It's hard for me. I don't know exactly how I can like describe of like, hey, here's one way you can do it, etc., etc. Like, oh, just breathe, etc., etc. I don't know. But I think it's something that I urge you to look into. I know there's a lot of resources here, especially on YouTube, that help with mindfulness and, living more present lives. Okay, guys, that's kind of essentially it. I think that's kind of what I wanted to discuss. I know, unfortunately, it was a little rambly. I actually didn't have a lot of notes. Kind of a lot of it just came straight from the dome out into the mic. So apologize if it kind of got rambly. But no, I, for one, appreciate you for listening. Appreciate you for taking the time and watching this. Again, I see a lot of new people here to this channel, a lot of new subscribers. I'd just like to express a huge thank you to you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my Korea vlogs. And thank you for watching even some of the other videos that I had in my channel that are just kind of really old. But yes, I hope you do stick around for the journey of me figuring out exactly what my niche is going to be, whether that be more food, more kind of vlog stuff, more maybe music, more video game related stuff, etc. I really hope that you stick around and you see kind of what I have to offer you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed all the videos that you've seen so far. Please look forward to the Korea vlog part 3, where we will be exploring Busan. That's still very much in the making. I just been really kind of lagging on it because work and birthday stuff that I've been trying to outline. Anyways, before I keep rambling on, thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna go and try to enjoy my 30th birthday as much as possible. Probably, to be honest, working more on these videos, but I find fun making YouTube videos. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more content to come out soon. Anyways, that is me. My name is Bryn. You can call me B, you can call me Kid B, whatever you want. But until then, thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye.